Hey guys, so welcome back to another weekly update on the South African refugee program to America. So if you like this kind of video, please like and subscribe. So before we continue, sorry that I'm a day late with this video today, but the main reason behind that is we did get our approvals, and with that we also got a call from IOM where we had to go see the doctors again, not to get re-examined for medicals, but uh, discussing and telling us how it will work with me being disabled and what kind of escorts we will be receiving. So, in that regard, I'll make another separate video with more detailed info regarding that. But for now, uh, we got the good news that we are going and we did get our date. So, let's continue and get into this. Right, so this week was a little bit more eventful than the previous 2 weeks. So, we've got something to talk about at least. Uh, let's get into it. Again, guys, I'll put the link to the spreadsheet in the description. If you want to use the links, uh, it's just easier. I'm not going to play the videos, as I said before. YouTube sometimes just gives copyright strikes for no reason. So before we get into, I think what is the main thing is the cap increase. There's a few things we can talk about or just quickly go over with. So the Citizen had a report or article regarding a family that went over and the attack they had to endure. Again, mainstream media just doing as they're going along again. But if you want to read more information, that you can go to the Citizen. Link is in the spreadsheet. Then Rian Ru had an interesting discussion about the ANC versus the CIA and the lack of intelligence from the ANC. Now, it touches on to the refugee program and quite a few interesting points he does raise on this. So go have a look at this. It is a quite a interesting article or video that he's made there. Then obviously the leftist groups, they rather have South African refugees struggle and focus on fighting Trump. But we know the story again. Link will be in the description or in the spreadsheet. Then there was another very interesting video from Dwayne of Loving Life. Is it worth staying in South Africa, and talk about the refugee program and some other interesting information? Well worth watching this podcast as well. I'll put links in the description. Then Professor G also talks about the refugee interviews, what it's all about. And it's not about coaching you, but just so you know what, because I think a lot of people has got a misconception on actually what it's really about. So you can actually go watch his video on that and just get the right information. Then Mornay talks about, is it possible to get your independence from the program within 3 weeks? And yes, it's possible. How doable it is for most people, I don't know. But have a look at it. You can see it is possible to actually get on your own within 3 weeks. Now, this one is quite disturbing, actually. A US teacher shares concerns about a South African refugee student in a viral Reddit post. Now, first of all, if you know about Reddit, it's full of fake news, fake everything, a lot of BS. Again, uh, done another article by the South African Megan van den Heever. Again, I think if the refugee program stops, she will have nothing to write about because that's all she does. Looking for information to misrepresent. So the teacher is concerned about remarks a student made. Uh, the student has made some concerning racist comments to me a couple of times. Interracial marriage is weird. Black people dresses badly. So the first thing that comes to my mind is, as a teacher, is it the right thing to go to a public group or public place and talk about a child that has gone through trauma, leaving all his friends alone, all his family, everything he owns basically, and by having his parents packing up everything, going to a completely new country where he is also just, he's in the deep end in essence. The actual post, there is the complete post if you want to read that. You can pause the video and read it. But again, for me, it is why, and for me, a teacher just shouldn't do this. I don't believe it's fully true, the post, but I mean, I've got no proof on that, but it just doesn't make sense. And even if it was, I don't think as a teacher, this is the right way to handle it. Yeah, very interesting uh, post there by a teacher in the USA, apparently. Then lastly is Shelley talks about outmigration. And just to save you up some, if you land in a situation where you really need to outmigrate, uh, then there's a couple of things to actually consider. So please look at that before you do anything. There's a lot of useful information out there as well. So just stay up to date before you actually consider moving or outmigrating. Right, so let's get into the main topic of the week, which is basically the cap increase proposed by the Trump administration. So the Trump administration wants to increase the cap from 7,500 refugees to 17,500 refugees, an increase of 10,000. Now, again, mainstream media has run away with it. YouTube has run away with it. There's quite a few videos and articles regarding this. But what does it actually say or mean? Because people are just running way overboard or they're just getting way in front of themselves. William Pitzer, for argument, says a immediate evacuation of Afrikaners. There is increase of refugee admissions. That doesn't sound too bad. Emergency. They're all focusing on this emergency. Rian Rue actually does a good explanation on this. It's not an emergency evacuation. So listen to his video on that. There's quite a few, like I said, the Colonel, Stefan, articles, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot that you can actually go and read about this. But what does it boil down to? Because a lot of people don't get what this is. So when Trump announced, okay, only 7,500 people will be admitted as refugees, that sort of set the number cap. But it's never set in hard stone. And one of the measures they can take to increase that cap is to call for an emergency determination. Basically, using the law and certain terms to get past certain conditions or laws or whatever and get approval from Congress. So in this case, when it comes or boils down to the refugee program, it's all about getting that approval for more refugees. And here you can see the term used is emergency determination. And it refers to official actions taken by the federal authorities to unlock extraordinary powers, funding, or policy exceptions. And that's all it is. So they want to bring in more South Africans or other refugees Uh, for now, let's just focus on South Africans, but they want to bring in more South Africans or refugees. And to increase that gap, they need to justify that. And the only thing they can do now is ask for a emergency determination. Nothing major. There's no serious immediate evacuation event going to happen where the Trump administration wants to evacuate all South Africans from South Africa. Keep that in mind and don't run away with this whole idea. And for those, let's say, the mainstream media guys, please just read up and get your facts straight, because that's all it is. It's just to get the approval from Congress. So, yeah, I hope that clears that part up a little bit. It's nothing major. And what I don't get is you could have just made it 17,500 from the start, but we'll leave it at that. Another hot topic of the week is the asylum claims that gets denied. I wish they would stop this Afrikaner thing. Just say South Africans, because it's not Afrikaners. It's Afrikaners. It is a lot of minorities, English speaking people. So just stick with South Africans. But in any case, there's two videos in the description or in the spreadsheet, and I specifically refer to Professor G's videos since he works in law in this department or in this field, where he talks about the denial of the asylums and why that happens. And then the other major topic is about people that needs to leave America to get their green cards. Now, that sounds ridiculous. I don't get why people get stressed about thinking as a refugee that you will need to leave the country and then apply for green card when you're out of country or out of America. It just doesn't make sense to me in any case. You're going over there as a refugee under the protection of America because we're getting our asses kicked here in South Africa because of laws, BEE, and persecution. So why would they send us back? Add that to the costs involved. It just doesn't make sense. So Professor G does a good explanation on that. And maybe it's worth just looking at those two videos. You're not going to get sent back. Trust me. I don't see it. It just doesn't make sense. Financially, the common sense behind that, just the whole logic. There's no way they're going to send a refugee back to apply for a green card. This is targeted to other groups, other people misusing the whole system there. So get and familiarize yourself with that. So then there was a couple of interviews that you can look at. One very interesting interview that I do find was worth it is Morne did an interview with Margriet Bekes from Sarah Facebook group. They've got a couple of groups and as well as Facebook groups and WhatsApp groups. So yeah, that is definitely one of the more interesting ones I've been looking at lately. And then also Morna had a questions of live, Q&A of live, questions and answers. Sorry about that. Then lastly, there is an extra video. As you know, my channel is a lot around the disabled people. I've put a link in there for what you will go through as a disabled getting on and off a plane. It seems there's quite a few disabled that has not flown yet. I'll go into more details in my video about my up and coming travel arrangements and how that works. But definitely have a look at that link get an idea what it's like to be traveling as a disabled if you're or one of your party members is going in a wheelchair. In any case, guys, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.